Welcome back to Wake Up America. So amidst this week's massive lineup of competitive primary elections is the Peach State.
Yeah, that's right. And tomorrow, all eyes in Georgia will be on the Republican lineup to try and take down current Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff. It's shaping up to be a close race, with some polling showing Congressman Mike Collins leading the Republican pack, but Congressman Buddy Carter and Derek Dooley also showing solid numbers there. Republican Congressman Buddy Carter joins us live now on this day before Election Day. Great to see you this morning. So, Congressman, we know the polls don't always tell the full story here. Why do you think you are the one to take down Ossoff in November?
Well, I think I'm the one because I can win, and that is the key here. We've got to beat Jon Ossoff. He does not represent the values of the state of Georgia. Someone who's supported the open borders policy of the Biden-Harris administration for 4 years. Someone who wanted to give illegal immigrants health care benefits. Someone who voted against the Working Families Tax Cut Act, someone who wants biological males competing in girls' sports. He does not represent our values. We've got to win. We've lost the last 3 Senate races in a row. We can ill afford to lose a 4th one. And we can't have people who have baggage. Mike Collins is under federal investigation for misusing taxpayers' funds. If he's our candidate, we lose. Derek Dooley has voted once in the last 20 years. He's never voted for President Trump. If he's our candidate, we lose. We've got to win. I don't have any baggage. I'll go toe-to-toe with Jon Ossoff. I'll compare records with him, and I will win.
So, Congressman, even when he's not on the ballot, President Trump does find himself on the ballot for primaries, midterms across the U.S., and Jon Ossoff has made sure to turn this race into a war on Trump's corruption. Take a look at this.
You aren't the problem. Neither are your fellow Americans. The problem is a corrupt and failing political system. The problem is that the people's elected representatives don't represent the people. They represent the donors and special interests. Corruption is why things don't work for ordinary people.
So it seems for Democrats, it's become, here's how I'm going to oppose Trump, rather than here's what I'm going to do for you. What do you want voters to know about Senator Ossoff as they head to the polls?
Well, first of all, that's the most hypocritical ad I've ever seen. Jon Ossoff, of all people, saying that we need representatives who are going to represent the people. He is opposed to the photo ID in elections. Yet he requires a photo ID in order for you to get into one of his events. You know, the Save America Act, 80% of Americans want that. Yet Jon Ossoff, he does not want it. Jon Ossoff does not represent the values. He's the one who is not representing the people. That's why we've got to have a change. That's why we've got to beat Jon Ossoff.
So zooming out to the rest of the state, I know redistricting is a big focus for Georgia right now as lawmakers consider new maps for congressional districts, but any changes really wouldn't take effect until 2028. I know you've been out on the campaign trail for some time now. Is that something you're hearing about from voters? How do they feel about these redistricting efforts?
Well, with all due respect to Governor Kemp, we need to redistrict now for 2026, not for 2028. The Supreme Court has ruled that you cannot intentionally use racial discrimination in order to draw districts. The districts that we have right now were drawn with the intent of racial discrimination. And it would be unconstitutional for us to elect officials to serve for the next 2 years. It'd be unfair to Georgians. You can't judge a person's party by their skin color anymore.
Right.
Those days are over with. You know, Martin Luther King wished for a colorblind society, and that's what we need to have, and this is our opportunity to do it. So I'm glad they're redistricting for 2028, but they need to do it for 2026. It's never too late to do the right thing.
All right, Congressman Buddy Carter, great to have you with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
On Iran, Mr. President, just to be clear, I mean, what's next? Is the threat of the bombing starting again? How realistic is that?
I don't want to say that. I mean, I'd like to tell you. I'd like to say on a certain hour, a certain day, the bombing is going to start. I don't want to say that. I can only say that Iran, I can say this with very, very strong conviction, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Not going to happen.
President Trump there not backing off from his red line on Iran's nuclear program. The tentative ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran may still be in place, but both sides appear to be bracing for the conflict to reignite.
So this comes as diplomatic efforts remain at a standstill, and right now the clock is ticking for Iran as the president warns the regime to come to the table and make a deal, saying time is of the essence.
So let's bring in John Davertai, former Green Beret. And